Hello! Today's video is all about data handling, and this is hopefully going to be a helpful one that will give you some techniques to help you remember the key things you need to do if you're presented with a question that requires you using averages. So let's get started. When you're faced with a handling data question, you might know the terms mean, median and mode, and yet when you come to an exam or when you come to that work, sometimes it just doesn't stay in your head and you can't remember what you're supposed to do for what or what name means what. That's probably one of the most frequently asked questions I get as a tutor. People know averages, they understand what we need to do, but they can't remember the specific names. So hopefully this video is going to help you to remember those when you're presented with them. Let's have a look at the first one. So the first one we're going to look at is mean. Now I like to refer to this one as the mean one. It's the mean one because you have to do so much to get to the average that you want. So if we're looking for a mean average, this is probably the most traditional average people know. We add all our items together. So say if I've got 5 numbers, I add them together and then you divide it by how many objects you've got. So if there's 5 numbers to add together, you add them all and then you divide it by 5. If there was 6, we'd add 6 and divide by 6. That is the mean one. It requires, I think, the most work. The next average is the median, or the middle one. I call it medium because that's how I remember it. It's medium, it's in the middle. And in this one, we just organise them, put them in order, and it's the middle of that selection. That is the median. Quite straightforward. The next one, mode, or the popular one. So we're looking for how many occurrences there are. The one that has the most occurrences, that is the mode. I always like to think of fashion and mode, and it's popular and it's fashionable. The one that appears the most is à la mode. In this case, it would be blue. Finally, we look at the range. The range is the top and bottom one. You arrange them, you take the highest one, the lowest one, and it's the difference between those two numbers. That's what we're looking for, is this amount here. And that's how we can remember that one. If, however, that's not quite floating your boat, you can't remember that, there is a rhyme you can remember. If you're one of our apprentices and you've got to do maths, we do have this rhyme on our on Smart Assessor where you can access it. But this is a useful rhyme. It's a nursery rhyme, but we've just changed the words. So haddle diddle, the median's the middle, you add and divide for the mean, the mode is the one that appears the most, and the range is the difference between. If you can remember that, that is also another technique you can use to remember these terms. Personally, I go for the other one. I go mean is horrible, medium sounds like medium, and mode sounds like fashion. Range, I have to go top bottom in my head. But I hope you found this helpful. If you've got any questions at all, as always, ask your tutor. If you've got any questions about how you calculate those averages, please go and look at our other videos. We have got videos that show you how to calculate mean, how to calculate median, how to calculate mode, and how to calculate the range. So if you're not sure, go and have a look at those. See you next time.